Here and now versus version 1. This is going to be a very, very, very long match. Let's see what they've got. Game number 1 of the best of 7 finally underway.
I can't wait to see how long it's going to take for Pirates to just bust out a fake kickoff. Immediately, game is 8, first kickoff they had, now we're not going for that one. Like, at least they showed how confident they are as that one goes off the side of the wall. And this is what we're expecting to see from the Pirates. They may have the goal! It took no time whatsoever! Goal down! Let's start focusing on games.
Okay, the goal's down. Let's see if they can keep onto this. Honestly, credit to Darth here. The way he takes it through the corner, gets Torment to bait onto that one, just kind of sets it up for skill steal for the first goal. And we're 15 seconds in, and already the Pirates have a lead. I'm pretty sure this is more than Bravado was able to do in the whole series against RNG.
Well, for the Pirates, that is about as good of a start as you could possibly have hoped for. And it is a team that getting that first goal, I feel, is so important, given the way that I have seen them play the game. They can be very hyper-aggressive with not really the greatest transitions back to their own defense. But in a game now where they don't have to chase and put that hyper-aggression out there, it's going to be a little bit better for them. But they are currently under quite a bit of pressure from V1.
Oh boy, that double commit on the line got me a little bit scared. The good thing is, well, I was going to say, it looks like they're starting to get a bit more collected. Caster Curse, we're about a minute into this one. That's not the greatest start for me, at least, and definitely not for the Pirates.
Darth managed to do about a 720 trying to find his position on the field. And that's just not where you want to be. You need to keep those angles open, because once you get into a position where you're either dead onto the ball or, even worse, back turn to the ball, hitting off your backboard, you get stuck in that position where no position is correct anymore. You need to be on the wall, you need to be coming in from the side of the goal towards a back post. That was neither, and that has led to the goal disappearing.
Now, unfortunately, this is something also that the Pirates and really most of SSA has kind of struggled with throughout not only this event, but just international competitions in general. Their speed is definitely going to be lesser than a lot of these other regions and these other players. And the reality is it's most shown in defense. As you can see, they scramble on the defense, try to figure out where they need to move, but by the time they get there, already it's a shot or at least more offensive pressure. And right now, you're seeing a boatload of offensive pressure from version 1. Touch off the backboard, denied by Darth, but doesn't really look like it's going to relieve all of that pressure that version 1 is building out of midfield.
I do appreciate what Pirates did there in terms of just slowing it down, not biting on any of those plays, because version 1 didn't really set anything up for themselves. Just wanted to see whether or not Pirates had the mistake, and now instead we do see Calm putting some plays together, gets the musty. No, he had to be quite aware of that one, but there's V1 showing us exactly what we know they've got.
They've been so good so far here, really playing this one patiently. You can tell they're very confident in going back into their own half, restarting the play. They know the Pirates aren't going to rush them too aggressively, so if they can find a little bit of open space, they should be able to take the lead. But thus far, they have not. 2 minutes into this one, Pirates have been able to hold on to at least a tied ball game. Although skill steal here in the corner, awkward position, not a lot of boost. All he can really do is dump it out to midfield where Torment is waiting. Decent touch out of the corner, could do something for version 1, but not quite able to. It's looking a little bit awkward for version 1 on offense right now.
Yeah, but this is what I need right now from Pirates. I needed something convincing to me that they could get the ball out of their own side of the field, because yes, V1 weren't putting anything together. They didn't have to. Pirates didn't seem like they had great ideas, so they're going to get rid of it. Oh, come!
Okay.
All right, fantastic assist. He knew that was happening all the time, and that is now 2-1.
Okay, that was probably the scariest play I've ever seen from Calm. I'm glad that it worked out for them, but for a second there, skill steal just kind of had to stutter step on the line, figure out where to move. Unfortunately, frozen in his tracks, not quite able to do so, and the Pirates give up their lead. 2:25 to go, plenty of time for them to respond here. And again, considering the Pirates have already gotten that first goal, now it's just, let's see, how competitive can they really keep this series?
It is time for the full send. As the Pirates finally getting to see a little bit of that blue side of the field. We'll see how long that lasts for at the moment, because Darth's positioning, I'm really questioning this at the moment. He keeps getting himself too far forward. It's like he's wanting to play in the most optimistic way possible. When the play doesn't go for him, he now has to adjust to that a little bit more. I just feel like the timing could be a little bit more on point, where he leaves the option open for himself, as he is going to be called into action to take that ball away.
Well, they're going to try and see if they can get this out of the half, but again, their defense has been rather shaky thus far, and they've got plenty of time to try and transition into offense, but it kind of feels like every time they do get into offense, speaking of shaky defense here, they're at least going to be able to get the demo to block the shot. But going back to what I was saying about their transitions into offense, it's again coming back to that pace of play. They don't really seem too comfortable on defense, and as a result, when they do transition out of their half, they've only got one man upfield. They don't really have passing lanes available, so they got to try and play this a little bit more meticulous, if you will. Play a lot more carefully, try and focus on a way to keep keep enough pressure to where eventually version 1 will crack. And even while saying that, I'm realizing how difficult of a statement that actually is. Right now, they are playing decently, but with only about 75 seconds on the clock and a third goal going in for version 1, they might be kissing their chances of game 1 goodbye.
Beautiful pass in field, and they still kept the play going. You want to become masterful recently of just knowing when to take that extra step in the play. They don't need to take the first-time shot. They know that as long as we just keep popping this into a very dangerous position, we're eventually going to run out of defenders that we have to beat to it.
Oh boy.
That's what we get to see from Com. Trying to set it up for himself a little bit too high as he did run out of boost.
Oh, but Beast Mode still going to keep this one on offense, and a skill steal misses that out of the corner. There's a chance for version 1 to maybe continue on with their win streak. Not quite. Torment also going to feel his backflip underneath the ball and can't really read it. But again, 54 seconds to go. Pirates struggling just to get some offense together. Right now, they're just holding on to defense, and that's not going to be enough to turn the tides.
For V1, you've got this player right here as well that even if Pirates do crack the code regarding how to get their own side of the field, Torment is there, and Torment has been right up there for the greatest defensive players in the world for years on end. In a game that has been so difficult to find a level of consistency for your pro career, Torment has certainly found that. And he is now called in. Beast Mode, the option for the infield. They did try and block it off, but now we're off the backboard. And that is almost game over. Instead, we keep it alive. Darth needs to put together a play here, but unfortunately for him, it's intercepted and time ticking away.
Oh, they're trying their best. But the reality is that version 1, they've pretty much sealed the deal here on game number 1. They brought out the chisels, they set it in stone, and oh my word, they might even be able to add to the masterpiece. 4-1 here with 1 second to go. And this is kind of what we expected out of game number 1. Pirates start off a little bit strong, but as time goes on, version 1 finds their comfort.
If you want the big win here, though, for SSA and for the Pirates, is that if we are going to be doing a lot of comparisons between themselves and APAC throughout this, they can certainly say, hey, we scored our goal a lot quicker than APAC did. They got theirs in game 3, I believe, in their international debut. They got Pirates got theirs within the first 10 seconds.
Hey, listen, the reality is Pirates scored quicker than almost anybody here today. So, hey, listen, you guys might hold the record for that, but currently the record in the series overall is 1-0 in favor of version 1. Again, we said this would be an uphill battle. The big thing for them is they've got to make sure that it doesn't get too far away from them. Making a mountain out of a molehill is never a good idea. So for the Pirates here, decent game number 1. Now let's see if they can try and calm their nerves and keep up with the pace of play as we get further into the series.
This is a great time up for them as well to just sort of learn where they're not necessarily tested. Usually we saw the stats when we came into this, and it's stats that we're used to seeing. Again, I'm going to keep using this over and over again, but the comparison to South America when they first came in, it was always so high scoring, and we've seen the progress that South America has made over the past few years where they had to figure out, okay, this doesn't work. When we get to this level, it doesn't work anymore. And for Pirates, especially right now, they're starting to figure out, okay, the transitions. This is really difficult when we get up against a team like V1. How do we get these players out there? I think, from what I'm seeing at the moment, they can afford just to leave someone downfield. They need somebody midfield. There needs to be a little bit of bravery, because if you're taking it too safe, you got no chance. You're just stuck in a box.
Exactly. You got to take a risk at some point here. And I do kind of want to sort of hint upon that comparison that you made with South America. I think an almost more apt comparison would be against OCE, because the fact is that OCE is kind of region locked. They don't really have that ability to try and hop into another region and start and test out their skills. South America, they can queue North America and start to figure out some of the ways that they play. But for SSA, it's the same thing as OCE. There's no one around them that can really connect to. Their ability to play on European or even Middle Eastern servers are not necessarily to the same degree. So this is where they learn those skills. This is where they learn the difference between their region and the rest of the planet. And well, here in game number 2, they got to learn how to try and hold on to a lead. Last time, by this point already, they had themselves a 1-0 lead. This time, instead, already getting pushed into their own half. Beast Mode's back on this one, but hey, you know what? Pirates getting some early shots. I like to see it.
And they're hitting the ball a lot cleaner, at least to start us off here. As we go off the backboard, Beast Mode! Actually a ram, but it doesn't turn it in. Had 2 chances.
Come on.
See Beast Mode's name on it. You think he's going to get the first time, let alone the second. We do stay at 0-0. Beast Mode having another crack at it. Still doesn't find the play for himself, but this is where we saw the majority of game 1 played. Now let's see, Pirates. You had a minute to talk about it. What have you come up with to get out of these positions?
I really want to see them try and play this midfield a little bit more aggressively. Like you and I said, if they just leave a man downfield, if they can get these booming clears that they've been going after time, it might be viable, but thus far not really. They haven't really had any possession at this point. Snowy going to try and take this one out to midfield. Decent 50-50, but Beast Mode definitely wins that. Sends it off the backboard. Who is there? None other than Com. And version 1, just about a minute into the game, already strike.
Con was having none of this race. He knew he was going to be the quicker one. And still had beast mode to contend with on his way out there as well. I agree with you entirely, though, about this midfield thing. I feel like we can see from Pirates some off-ball play. And I can understand it. There's nerves about this. You want to be back. You want to be where the ball is about to go next. But we're seeing a lot of players. We're seeing a double commit behind. I think it's the first one I've seen today. But we're seeing a lot of players that are being used to try and boom the ball, or at least trying to be used for the transition. And they're trying to get back as quick as they possibly can. Don't necessarily need to. You can run back through the middle, hit the third man from V1 and just disrupt them a little bit more. But for V1, this is about as clean as a rotation as they could possibly hope for, because they're not being challenged physically by the other team.
Well, that's a good booming clear. Maybe this time Pirates will be able to challenge them on their defense. Oh, nope. Calm straight back to the other side. And still misses this one. Snowy able to get it off the post. 0 boost in the tank, so it's not necessarily a clear, but hey, we're at least going to be happy that they did not concede another goal here. They keep it at 1-0 with about 3 minutes to go. Drop down pass, though, looking beautiful, if not for the fact that Darth got in the way. Speaking of drop down, there's another one. Second time's a charm, and finally, Calm will find a second for version 1.
I think Fireburner gave them a task that I want to see a drop down pass goal. I don't care how often you have to do it. We are going to find the way to get that one in. But for V1, definitely loosening up here. You saw the pre-jump. We're seeing the drop downs. Definitely will feel like they are rightfully a step ahead. Now just trying to see if they can flex those mechanics. Torment already up and pretty comfortably beat to the ball.
Oh boy, you already know that things are starting to go well for version 1 and they're feeling confident when you're seeing Torment, the one kind of pre-jumping these things. He's not necessarily usually involved in the offense, not that he's not at all, but considering the fact that so far almost every goal except for one has been scored by Beast Mode and Calm, yeah, you can tell that version 1 are starting to warm up, starting to recognize that pace of play issue we talked about before, and they're going to take full advantage of it. If Pirates can keep up with that, if we can start to recognize that the pace of play is going up and start to dive at these balls just a little bit more ahead of time, I think they should have a shot. Unfortunately for them, the shot's starting to run out of time here. 2:15 left on the clock. That's a boomer going downfield. But as Calm clears it out to the corner, no such luck. Pirates going to have to try again on offense another time.
This is a hit that you go for when you just check the scoreboard and see, hey, we don't get a shot on target yet. Okay, I'm going to get one from here. We're going to get that one down. Cool. We don't have to worry about that one going forward. 2-0, 2 minutes left. Pirates at least seeing some possession as...
Calm.
I know Calm's disrespect is sort of part of the brand at this point, but even that was pushing it.
How did he get the touch, though? That's the funniest part, is that he's on the
That's the most annoying part.
Yeah, he's like pre-jumping the entire thing, eventually floats down, but just saves his flip for long enough to where he can get in the way. Speaking of getting in the way, though, this one off the backboard could be a shot. Skill Steal puts it into the top right. And the Pirates find a response with about 100 seconds to go.
I got left hanging there.
That's unfortunate.
Considering you got a goal that good from that angle. And definitely brought Pirates back into the game here with 1 minute 36 left on the clock. Let's see what Pirates can do. I want to see the kickoff. Oh, come on, we're getting too many normal.
No! Oh, no, that's in, isn't it?
I'm a little bit annoyed that I feel like for the third time this game, my following sentence was going to be skill shot, missed the ball.
You know, at least they have 2 goals. They're the only ones to score so far. So at least they're doing, you know, they're doing something right, just on occasion right now. Oh, and they're not really able to do anything on that occasion. They're demoed and turned the other way as version 1 send themselves right back into offense again. I've got to give credit, though. The never say die attitude that Pirates are pulling out right now, this just sort of resilience that they are showing, even when the going gets tough, even when version 1 start to find that flow, they're still just as aggressive. And I do think they're starting to adjust to the pace of play. They seem a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more aware of how fast this game is going.
Well, they've definitely got a shot at this still, especially if they can get themselves out of this position. 0 boost, and not quite the wave dash that Darth was particularly after. Is now got off the wall. Beast mode, only as far as Snowy. Snowy tries to set up. Where's his teammate? Darth beat to it. Beast mode waits. He should turn that one in, and he will. 2-goal lead reestablished. And Pirates are going to have to go for the chase.
I appreciate what they were doing here, though. We said keep up with the pace of play. Darth trying to go for a bit of a pre-jump there, get in the way of the ball, or at least get a 50-50. And although it doesn't work out, if they want to win, that's how they've got to do it at this point here. This is the exact type of gameplay we need to see out of the Pirates, and although it is not necessarily working out for them here in Game 1 and 2, we got a long series ahead of us. We still got 3 and 4 at minimum, and potentially more if we keep on going. But as Calm puts in a 4th goal, we have the same scoreline as game number 1, so... still a little bit of work to be done.
These drop-down passes,
beautiful.
It's so difficult to read as well because V1 disguised them amazingly. You're so convinced for the longest time. He's going off the backboard. He's going to hit this on the backboard. He's going to go for the double tap as I don't know what sort of kickoff I can describe that one as, V1. It looked like you somehow managed to hit the player that was cheating up, and that does give Pirates their 3rd goal of the series. I don't think I've ever seen a kickoff that badly worked.
No, and especially considering the fact that their adjustments did not help. Comm in the left side of goal doesn't really know where to go. Kind of has to backflip to make a save and does not make the save. With 24 seconds to go, I mean, Shogun, you believe in miracles? There's technically a chance here for the Pirates.
Let's have a look. Skill steal. Oh, couldn't quite find the ball. Just need that crucial touch when they get into those critical positions as we do get the infield. Unfortunately, miscommunicated as to who's going to go for it. Torment now with Beast Mode. What the pin shot? Doesn't quite come off. Pirates, 2 players to aim for. Unfortunately for them, neither of them got the ball. And it is going to end with a victory for V1. But Pirates, they're showing up here. This, I would maybe be a bit risky for me to say this, but this is going better for them than I think a lot of people expected.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, the
Thank
reality...
goodness you agreed with that one.
You're like, I'm not sure where I'm going with it. No, I agree. I mean, you can look at the comparison to Bravado when they played earlier today. Bravado didn't get a goal until, like, what, game 3 or something like that? Like, it took them multiple shutout games in a row before they finally found their form. Yes, it is a 5-2 scoreline here in game number 2, but it definitely looks like the Pirates, they're starting to warm up and understand how to play at this pace of play.
I think for a lot of the goals that we are seeing Pirates concede, you can tell the point where it went wrong, whether it be a misposition, whether it just be not necessarily knowing where this player is going to go to next, or V1 smash them with a beautiful drop-down pass. Guess what? There's not really much you can do when V1 get that one right. That's become something that's become very crucial to V1 over the years, because we talked a lot about the Pirates. Let's talk about what V1 are doing very well at the moment, and that is controlling the pace. They are easing into this. They are aware that despite how good their form has been, if they want to go as far as we know they can go, this is a long tournament. This is going to be the biggest test for them in terms of overall endurance. They need to just ease into it. Not every game needs to be trailblazing the entire way through. Have a bit of fun with it. And that definitely seems to be what they're doing. Make sure that the overall mechanics and the fundamentals are there. Can't really argue against that at the moment.
Yeah, they're playing very well. And again, it's not like it's a surprising thing. We expect V1 to do well, especially against this team in the Orlando Pirates. But it's more surprising in the ways that they are doing it. I feel like this is a team where we've seen so many mechanical plays from them, especially from Beast Mode in particular. But right now, it's just kind of the Beast Mode and Comm show. They're working on their 2-team passing plays, and it's working out well. Speaking of which, there we go early on. The back and forth pinball action in front of the net, and Version1 score within 8 seconds.
It's the sort of position that you're going to see Torment in a lot throughout this. Get the 2 passing plays going, and then Torment knows every single time. He's a couple of steps ahead of everybody, knows when he can go, knows when he can't, knows when he just needs to be the axis for the rest of his team. As now Snowy with a chance to try and set up. They have scored in every single game so far. Pirates will want to keep that current streak alive as the booming ball just wide of the shot of this goal.
Ooh, that's not a good read out of Darth in the corner, unfortunately. Although they're going to play him upfield, trying to go for some boost. None of it spawns, so unfortunately they'll have to retreat. Skill Steal going to try and play this one a little bit carefully. And, oh boy, this is looking a bit awkward right now for the Pirates, as all of a sudden, low boost and the positioning all over the place.
Darth to the backward as well. Com not around. Darth sets it up, and nobody believed. Pirates already starting to track back. Now the infield, it's all up to Duff. Does see the backboard. Oh, just the miscommunication. One wanted the redirect, the other one wanted the bump and shot. And we stay at 1-0.
I do like the creativity, though. The fact that they're going for plays like this. Again, before this, they were kind of just drilling it at net, hoping it would work out. Solo plays could be something big, if not for the fact that Beast Mode reads it off the backboard. Now up to Torment to try and take this one downfield. A minute of play gone here, and I will say the Pirates getting a lot of good looks on net right now.
I think this has been the best ideas I've seen from the Pirates, but also the most whiffs. It's been a bit more of the good with a little bit more of the bad. But at the same time, this is what you want to see, because if Pirates are going to get up to that level down the line, this is the style of play that they need to be up to. They're not going to be able to get through. You don't win championships or get yourself in that mix by playing safe. We're way beyond that now in terms of the Rocket League meta. They need to take the risk. They need to see what does and doesn't work. And this has certainly been the game to see where about those limits are. As do we have the redirect? No, we do not. Torment gets credited with a goal, but it was the feint out that put the defense in the wrong spot.
All right, listen, a fake's a fake, and the reality is, especially for the Pirates who haven't seen this yet so far in this series, that cannot be something that they expected there. Calm just kind of goes past the ball. All the Pirates on defense kind of just got to look as this one flies straight over the windshield and into the back of the net. Again, they're looking good right now, but it just kind of feels like the puzzle pieces aren't quite coming together. They've got an idea of what the picture is, but they don't quite know how to form it. And speaking of form it, that would have been an incredible passing play to come to fruition, but instead, Version1 will take this one back into their own half and try and restart the play. Okay, maybe not. Darth misses the ball in the corner, though, so it's not going to make much of a difference, but you can tell Version1 are playing this so patiently. They know they've got the speed advantage and are quite literally using that to their advantage on repeat.
Off the backboard yet again. This has been where the majority of the goals have been.
Woo.
That is, well, the triad of attempting to try and get to the ball. As Beast Mode starting past everybody, almost found the reset to hook it back around. They're going to keep going for this one, especially with, oh, can they get that off the crossbar one more time? Beast Mode sees that his shot is saved. V1 putting the plays together.
You got to give credit, though. The Pirates seemingly holding... Okay, never mind. Caster Curse shows itself yet again, and honestly, it's a beautiful play for it to show on Beast Mode. Cherry picks out of midfield, and my, oh my, what a touch.
I think this is one that you might have got used to seeing over the last few seasons, where Pirates just, when they get offense, it's almost overexcited in a bit of a way. It's like, we're going, just send everybody, send everybody. The third man, I feel like is always too far forward. I can't tell if this is just mispositioning or not used to the power that V1 can generate, because V1 blast it, and it just seems like the Pirates are shocked by that. It goes up and they go, okay, I did not know that that was possible.
I think a big thing to note here for the Pirates, for those of you unaware of the background for the Pirates and how this has kind of gone in SSA, there have been 2 to 3 teams that, oh my word, have threatened them. Speaking of threatening, what on earth is this setup out of Beast Mode? I'll get back to my point in a while because we just got to admire what we just saw.
Whew. This is the reason why a lot of people are looking at this team and saying, Wildcard? Really?
Yeah, I agree with them. I don't know why they're... I mean, I know why they're here, but the reality is that they definitely could have made it through to the main event, and most people would have understood. But to go back to my point real quick and sort of explain what I was talking about before, Pirates, the reason why I feel like a lot of this is catching them off guard, throughout the season, please don't score. Just give me a second to talk about that.
Keep talking over the goals at this point.
Please. The reality is that for SSA as a whole, Pirates have basically been the top of the top, but they've had only a few teams that have contested them. ATK, Bravado, a couple of squads here and there, but in comparison, Version1 is something they've never seen. They've never seen a team come out with the gates this firing, this aggressive, and they don't really know what it feels like to have a team that is that proficient against them. So for the Pirates, this is going to take a little while to not be the cream of the crop, not be the best of the best, and I think it's something that they will get used to. But again, here in round number 1 against Version1, who have put their pedal to the metal and have not hit the brakes whatsoever, it may not happen here in their first series.
Yeah, obviously, Pirates did get a little bit of experience over at Gamers 8, but a bit of a difficult one because you're not putting games back-to-back in that one. You're playing 3s, then you're playing 2s, then you're playing 1s. It's not the chance to have that quick conversation about, okay, we're going to fix this into the next one. You're just focusing on what the next game mode is going to be, as they're not going to put this together, surely not. Version1 giving us a mechanical showcase as to what they are capable of. Are they going to find the bump? Torment, what a play! Skill Steal just held it off, found the jump, and gets rid of the ball. That is incredibly difficult to get through, especially with so many teams that have been annihilated by the bumping plays of V1.
And he's reading it off the sidewall as well. I feel like I gotta shout out Skill Steal just a little bit more here. One of the veterans of the scene. He's been around before SSA was in RLCS. He was one of those players that people talked about when they talked about South Africa. And the thing is that while a lot of people obviously are looking to Snowy on this squad, you should be looking at the entirety of the roster. Darth and Skill Steal are very skilled players, and unfortunately, they couldn't quite represent themselves here in game number 3. And speaking of represent yourself, how about Beast Mode? Tally on another. Second goal for this player here, and all of a sudden, it's a 5-0 scoreline, shutting out the Pirates in game number 3.
Double commit. Unfortunately, none of the contact. Yep, as you mentioned, 5-0. And that is V1 going up quadruple match point to their name. They look confident about it, as they very well should be. As for the Pirates, it just feels like whatever they had has been figured out. And despite, I did like what I saw for the opening 2 minutes, where they were trying to take those risks, but it definitely felt towards the second half of that game, it was sort of an acknowledgement of this one's gone.
Yep, and that's the unfortunate thing is that it is kind of, you have to recognize at a certain point that, okay, things are getting out of hand, why don't we just try some things? Why don't we experiment, try and see what we can figure out? And again, Pirates, I hope that's how you're looking at this as a whole. You knew you came into this one the underdogs, you knew it was going to be a very difficult thing to even try and get a game off this team, so just get adjusted. Start to figure out how you can play, figure out where you can start to make those minor adjustments that in the future when playing other teams besides V1, you might be able to use them to your advantage. So 3-0, this could be the last game for the Pirates, but I'd like to see them at least go out with a bang, or heck, I'd like to see them take a game and keep the series alive.
I just heard a really loud roar from wherever that was in the stadium. I'm assuming something big just happened over on the H stream. I'm gonna find out there's just nothing. Nah, I'm just hearing things.
Crowd's just happy, you know, they're just having a good time, you're just partying, vibing, you know.
I'm sorry, you got like 2 weeks of Rocket League ahead of you at the highest possible level. I would be vibing at this moment in time. This has been something that we have waited for, the first World Championship that we have had since Season A, all the way back over in Madrid, won by NRG. We are going to be crowning a World Champion. I was going to say a new World Champion, but who knows? NRG, very much possibility that they can defend their title. But right now, V1, one of the teams that are most likely to fly that North American flag.
I would imagine so. I was about to say, I don't know if I have enough time here. We got a 5-minute period. I don't really want to dive into NRG and what I believe about that team. So let's just talk more about Version 1 and Pirates here as we get into game number 4. Again, Version 1 looking to close out this series here in a sweep. But for the Pirates, just get a goal on the board, try and hold on to it. That defensive posture that we said has been shaky before. If you can try and make a couple of adjustments, oh my, you can probably try and sneak one by Version 1, but nothing's getting snuck by them so far as multiple shots go on. But the Pirates, decent defense so far here. 0 boost in the tank though, so Snowy cannot follow up their touch on the backboard.
You want to see at this point from Pirates? Just go. Just go for it. It's unlikely you're getting the first ever LAN best-of-7 reverse sweep. I don't care if you double commit. I don't care if you miss it whilst going for it. I want to see what you come up with when you go forward. Double commits, they happen. You're going to get those recoveries down the line where you're not really even going to notice them anymore. You're just that quick getting back into position. Let's see what Pirates have got, and can they add a 4th to their tally?
I'd love to see it. Honestly, the only word that I can think of, or I guess words, would be send it. Just send it every single time.
Send.
Exactly, full send. Got a couple of friends out there who are probably going to be pretty ecstatic to be hearing that be used in Rocket League, but the reality is can they use it to their advantage? More shots to the backboard here. Decent touch, not going to be enough though, as Version 1 head right back into offense. Touch to the backboard. Beast mode, is he going to be able to read it? No, but Calm, shot on target and into the top left. Version 1 with an outpouring of aggression, and it nets them the first goal.
I don't know if you've heard this complaint from me just yet, but a little bit too far forward.
Really?
Yeah, really. Just, if Gregan's out there, I'm sure he's listening. I know he's big on SSA. Back post rotation. Just make sure you're there. You've got all the options covered for yourself. Unfortunately, just too far forward. Didn't have the chance to at least reposition as Beast Mode taking on the entire team, and does at least come somewhat close to winning. Off the ceiling now. Almost found the block. Pirates once again on the charge, but look at this passing play. V1 just instinctually know where everybody is.
They're just so cohesive, and I feel like this is kind of going to lead me to my question when talking about this. You say they're too far forward. Do you think this is a hindrance of their defense or offense, like more or less?
I think it's a game reading thing. I think it's very much in the middle ground there of, because a lot of Rocket League is prediction. You know what's coming next. There's, oh no. Colin Stumpy, I hope you weren't watching that. That was prime doinking position. Hey! You know what? I'll forgive you for that one. Number 4, Skill Steal gets this back up to a 1-1 game.
Oh, it's such a nice touch out of Darth, too. Not too aggressive, not too powerful. They know that Torment's lurking on the backboard. They've been doing this time and time again where the Pirates have a heavy touch. It gets them to the backboard. There's a Version 1 player there, and all of a sudden, it's cut out. So what do? Lighter touch, send it to the middle, make sure one of your players is there to pre-jump. Pirates, if you want to try and take a game away from Version 1, that's how you've got to do it. Throw them off guard, because for a team that is so cohesive, you need to make sure that you catch them by surprise.
Yep. And again, it's the thing that we were asking for so much earlier on. Leave the option down. It seems like Pirates, after they got caught by the same thing where Com jumped up and put them off, they realized, oh yeah, that's a thing we can do. We can put them off. And we don't need everybody at back all the time, but we do see Com yet again, goes for the backboard double tap. He's almost got it. Now for the follow, and the lead re-established by Torment.
All right, I got to watch this one back and understand, because somebody drove out net. Snowy's in the net, can't go for the first one. Darth commits as well. Trying to figure out where that other player was. Unfortunately for the Pirates, it's something we've seen a couple of times times. Double commits on defense have left them somewhat open. It's okay. 2 minutes to go. Their offense is looking solid so far, and if they can avoid some mishaps on defense, they can definitely see an overtime here. But again, as we've said multiple times, it's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, especially when Torment is flip resetting in front of your net. Snowy an easy breakaway. It's the 1v1 player. What can he do with it? And he sends it a bit too early. Calm gets in the way, and the Pirates unfortunately see another opportunity fall by the wayside as again Calm gets in the way.
I do love just the chasing though from behind it, because if you are in that 1v1 position, you want that ball on your hood, you want angles, you want just the option there. But because he was getting chased down, as that's off the wall, because he was getting chased down, that wasn't a choice anymore. So you saw the ball roll back down, and the ball control was suddenly got so much easier for the defender to deal with. Not like that.
No.
I just heard the soul leave my co-commentator here.
Yeah, that's that one's a little bit heartbreaking there, especially considering skill steal. You kind of just got to leave the ball alone. You don't have a good angle. There's no need to dive at the ball there. All you're really doing is assisting Version 1 and getting some extra power and putting it back center. And unfortunately, Pirates, you might have just assisted Version 1 to the start of their first game, or excuse me, series here in a sweep. 80 seconds to go, 2 goals. It's technically possible, but for the Pirates who have struggled to hold on to defense at the cost of their offense, this could be a very risky ending to the series.
Oh, just a little bit too high on the approach over to the balls from skill steal. As Daff, does he have the passing option on that side? Not quite. He is cleared. Skill steal. Well, he doesn't quite realize that Torment was already chasing him. Did well with it anyway. 1 minute left. Can Pirates get to 5? I think if we were to ask most people how many goals they were going to score, I don't think many people would have said above 3.
No, definitely not.
This has been definitely like an overperformance from Pirates. I want to see more of it. But 5 is just a really nice round number, and I really want that one there. What a save that is from Snowy.
Oh, that's what we like to see. Pirates, even in the closing moments here of this game, they are still giving it their all. They are taking this, honestly, I think like practice, and I think that's the big thing. Making sure to get adjusted to international play, making sure to get adjusted to what we said many times, the pace of play, the speed at which these players are just whipping it around the pitch. It's not, you know, the best series that they could have thrown, but dang, it's a really impressive performance. We have got to give them credit.
And hopefully that is credit that they will see from our viewers and from people that are being introduced to them. It is a region that has got their first opportunity. They have shown up for it, but they are against one of the tournament favorites, V1, looking every single step of it. They are going to take this in a sweep, and they move on to the 1-0 side of the bracket. As for the Pirates, they will wait to see who they were going to play against next. I'm
interested to see how the Pirates continue on from here. Again, 4 goals here is not a bad performance by any stretch of the imagination. The reality is that in their competitors in SSA, in Bravado, they were not able to get a goal till multiple games into the series. They come out the gates, get the first goal of the game. They keep it competitive the entire way through. Although Version 1 take this one overall, this was not a bad showing from SSA by any stretch of the imagination.